Okay, so I'm aware that Cathy has uploaded multiple new videos. I am choosing not to watch them. The last one I watched was the one that I reacted to. And because it caused so many new memories to come back on me and triggered a little bit of a breakdown, I decided it would be better not to watch her videos anymore. Because they are just going to upset me. They're made just to upset me. Um, and it's not only upsetting what she's saying, it's upsetting the way that people are viewing what she's saying. Because in a normal situation, the stories that she's telling would not be seen as humorous. Like, put yourself in my shoes. As a child who's being abused, and they take me on this trip, and Stone Mountain is a huge park, and it's a Confederate thing. Of course, Cathy loves going there. Trump supporter. Gotta go visit her Confederate founders, her slave owners. Anyway, sorry. Um, so it's a big thing. It's a big stone. You climb up, you climb down, you go around. And often when my grandparents would take me to parks, they took me to Six Flags Over Georgia a lot. And nearly every year I got very sick. Like, one year it was instantaneous. We got to the park, and within an hour I was throwing up. And so we went back to the hotel, and my papa got a year-long pass so we could just keep going back until I got, until I got enough of the park. But every time they took me, I wound up getting extremely ill. I got overheated, too hot, I would be throwing up, I would be crying. I did not have an accurate, gauge of what was happening to my body, so I couldn't tell them what was happening, right? Like, I was getting way too hot and being fed the wrong foods, because as I know now, gluten and oil make me sick. And what are you going to eat when you go to a theme park? Fried stuff. Nothing but gluten and oil. So every single time I was walking around overexposed to the sun, overexposed to food that I couldn't eat, I would get sick, and normally I would cry, I want to go home. Not I'm going to throw up, not I'm going to shit myself, not I feel sick. I want to go home. I just want to go home. And that would result normally in my grandparents taking me someplace to take a break. But with Cathy, me saying I want to go home, in her mind, with all of her perfect children who were perfectly fine and not wanting to go home, she assumed that I was just being lazy. She was a grown woman, remember. Grown woman with her own children, her own teenage children. And I was just one of the children that she was watching that day. And after a long day, I began crying and pleading to go home, call a car, do something. Now, did I tell her that my stomach was hurting, that I might throw up, that I might mess myself, that I felt very sick? Probably not. Because even now, a lot of the times when I feel very sick, I don't tell people, hey, I'm about to puke, I'm about to shit. Honestly, I don't even know. Like, I'll go out for a walk and wind up nearly passing out because I haven't eaten. And sometimes I'll catch myself just before, and I'll come back and I'll eat before I go, but sometimes I won't. And even when I'm about to pass out, my thought process is not, oh God, I fucked up, I'm about to pass out, I should have eaten. My thought process is always, oh, something's wrong. I should go home or go to sleep. Right? It's not. And so, from the story that Cathy's telling, that I genuinely don't remember. I will say that I have forgotten a lot of my childhood and I don't remember this. But what Cathy said is, it was a long day. None of us were very happy. According to her, even her children were upset. And I kept continually asking for a car. And I kept crying and whining and saying that I just wanted to go. And Cathy said no to me. Now, in Cathy's story, because she said no to me, I sat down and shit myself. Because I was a stubborn, arrogant, entitled little bitch. And Cathy said no to me. She said no, I wasn't going back to the hotel. She said no, and so I was just spiteful and horrible because that's who I was. Okay. Now, look at the situation from my side. I was an abused child, overexhausted, overheated, being fed the wrong thing, and having stomach issues, and about to have to use the bathroom. And begging and pleading the adults in my life to take me someplace where I could do that. Was I saying I had to go to the bathroom? No, I was crying and saying I wanted to go home. But a normal adult inquires to the child why they want to go home so badly. Cathy apparently didn't. She just said no. No, 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 no. I don't care why, no. Well, okay, but if you're going to tell a child no when they say I have to go to the bathroom, you can expect an accident to happen. And it's not happening because Cathy said no. It's happening because the abused child had been through too much and could not hold it any longer. And 30 years later, I'm still being judged as just being spoiled and selfish and just doing things because Cathy said no.